What's going on, everyone? Welcome back. Today, I wanted to showcase another team in the Willpower Cup, this time showcasing a triple dark lineup. Not only are they 3 dark-type Pokemon, they're also 3 just little guys here, little gremlins, trying their best in this cup. I'm using my Pawniard here once again, one of my favorite Pokemon in this meta. Fury Cutter, Night Slash, and X-Scissor, a very flexible moveset, and pairing it up with our Shadow Murkrow that we saw the other day, using Peck, Drill Peck, and Foul Play, and on the Stay Swap here, Sableye, running Shadow Claw, Dazzling Gleam, and Foul Play. Let's get into the battles and see what this team can do. Alright, first game of the day, Pawniard as our lead up against a Galarian Rapidash. This is a pretty good lead matchup for us, right? We're kind of weak to Fairy-type damage with both our Murkrow and our Sableye, and Pawniard here can outpace a Night Slash before they get to hard-hitting attacks, so Night Slash should do quite a bit of damage. We'll see what they want to do. Night Slash comes to it, does end up putting them down pretty deep into the red. Fury Cutters are adding up themselves. I'm going to shield a potential Mega Horn here. Our opponent going for a Wild Charge, actually. Alright. Well, that's an interesting play. I guess it's good I shielded. That would have done quite a bit anyway. They save up a Shadow Murkrow as well. Shadow Murkrow is going to be a little bit tricky, saying my Pawniard is my best answer, but down HP and down shields, Murkrow can actually probably put in quite a bit of work here. They go for an attack. I'm going to hope that I survive this Drill Peck, but I don't know if I do. No, we get knocked out. That resisted damage is just so hard hitting from that Murkrow. And with that said, I'm going to use my own Murkrow here, right? This Pokemon is going to be able to go for a 1 shield farm down. I'll have a ton of energy coming out of this matchup, and I'm hoping once I get the farm down here, maybe this energy is going to go miles in the back. Our opponent thinking about who they want to bring in. If Rapidash comes in, I'm going to swap out to our Sableye to go for a Shadow Claw down before they get to another move. They do actually do that. In comes that Rapidash. Down it goes, and I guess we win. Maybe like a Claydol in the backline, I don't know, but GG to our opponent. I guess we'll never know. Next game is going to be a Pawniard mirror match. I'm going to see what our opponent wants to do here. Honestly, once again, our backline is a little bit weak to this Pokemon, right? So if I can get this Pokemon out of the way early on, then I'm going to be in a good spot. Night Slash coming through, our opponent will go for the shield. Good bait by us. Honestly, a bit of a risky bait, though. And comes an attack here. Even an X-Scissor would not be enough to knock us out, and I know we can get to another move if they do land it. X-Scissor being thrown, we do survive. Our opponent makes a nice snipe down with this Claydol, 1 Mud Sap energy lead, and I have my Shadow Murkrow up a shield that is going to be a fantastic response to this Pokemon. Now, with that said, Rock Tomb would one-shot us here, so I do need to shield this up, but I'm fine not throwing energy first. What I like to do in this matchup is Shadow Murkrow is actually kind of nasty. After 1 shield, a Foul Play, even with a debuff on our attack stat, is going to put them into a perfect Peck down range. I can come out of this matchup with a ton of energy on Murkrow, and as you've seen, energy on Murkrow is a massive thing. Down goes Claydol. What's going to come in now? It might be that Pawniard once again, but if it does come back in here, they're pretty low on HP, right? Even a debuffed Murkrow is going to put in some work there. I'm at back-to-back Drill Pecks. That might have been a CMP, it looks like, on our Drill Peck, but that's fine. This is going to do quite a bit of damage. In comes the Drill Peck. Down goes a lot of their HP. They do survive thanks to that attack drop on our Murkrow, but we will shield this up ourselves because it feels like Murkrow might be good into the backline. I guess maybe it's not the best Pokemon in the backline that we could have seen, but it's a Galarian Rapidash. If I land this move, then Shadow Claws will knock them out. If they shield this, I can go for a Foul Play as well with our Sableye. They do go for that shield on that Drill Peck, right? So now a Foul Play will be thrown in just a second. I still have a lot of HP on my Murkrow, and a Mega Horn will not knock out my Sableye from this range, but it does do quite a bit of damage. I think at this point, the way I lose this game is if they end up going for a full farm down with my Sableye using their Pawniard and they have a move coming out for my Murkrow. They actually didn't even tap. They wanted to leave my Sableye just a little bit healthier to get more farm. Are they at the move? Not quite yet. Peck knocks out that Pawniard and we're able to pick up the win. GG there to our opponent. Next game, Shadow Drapion on the lead. Pawniard is going to resist a lot of the damage this Pokemon's going to have. Ice Fang actually on this Drapion. That is a bit of a scary moveset, especially for our Murkrow to see. So if I can, I want to knock this Pokemon out as soon as possible. And luckily for us, our opponent is staying in on this lead matchup. We land an X-Scissor as well. That does so much damage here. I think an Aqua Tail will come through, but because my team is so squishy, I don't really want to invest shields this early on in the match. Our opponent brings in a Mandibuzz, and I mean, I don't really have a good answer to this Pokemon, right? At least not when my Pawniard is this chipped down, so I bring in my own Murkrow instead. I can survive an Aerial Ace here, so I'm going to go for the no-shield, try to get to 2 Drill Pecks if I can before the next attack, and if they want a shield, they can be my guest. If they want a no-shield as well, that is fine by me. Then Murkrow is going to be able to take down this Mandibuzz. Down goes a lot. Actually, no, I thought they weren't going to shield that. They shield our first attack. That's interesting. Down goes their first shield, I should say. In comes the second Drill Peck already, and a massive amount of damage is going to land against this Mandibuzz. I have an X-Scissor loaded on our Pawniard as well. I could probably bring that in here and do a lot of damage, maybe even knock them out if they end up going for the no-shield. X's are coming through right now. Our opponent likely doesn't want to go down 2 shields. No, down goes the Mandibuzz. In the backline is a Galarian Moltres. I try to reach a move, but it doesn't look like I can quite get there, so now Sableye has a lot of work to do. With that said, they have a Dark type in the backline. Actually, they have 2, right? There's a Shadow Drapion as well as that Galarian Moltres. This game's going to be very tricky because I think I see their win condition. All they need to do is go for a lot of fast attack damage now. Sucker Punches might knock us out before we get to 2 Dazzling Gleams. But they go for a Fly instead. That gives us 1 extra Shadow Claw for free of energy. And I think it might not be important for them to have done that, but I think that their win con, no matter what, would always be to go for the fast move beatdown here. If I can survive long enough to get my next Dazzling Gleam off, then I'm going to be able to win this game. Yeah, it looks like despite them throwing that move, I would have reached it anyway on lower HP, obviously. But this Dazzling Gleam will knock out this Moltres, and Sableye barely able to close out this game. I'd love to see it. GG to our opponent. Next game is going to be a Poniard up against, oh boy, a Shadow Annihilape. Luckily, our backline's pretty good against this. I have Sableye here that we swap into. Our opponent brings in their own Galarian Moltres once again, and this Pokemon is going to be a little bit tricky to deal with. I go straight for the Dazzling Gleam here, because this is a very bait and nuke dependent matchup. I'm going to go for the attack. Our opponent obviously is going to shield. I guess that's not great for us here. Maybe should have baited there, but I've baited with Sableye in that matchup. Sometimes they no shield, sometimes they shield. It's a 50-50 call, and our opponent did get it right. In comes their attack, another fly coming through. I have another Dazzling Gleam ready to go myself, though, and this attack, if they let this go again, is going to knock them out. In comes the Gleam, and down goes their second shield, which is not ideal for us, but I think I can still get to a foul play. Just barely I can, but I guess they keep switch advantage, which means that Annihilape will line up into our Poniard. And not only that, though, at this point, our Poniard is basically useless here because it's going to take a Brave Bird and a Fly. That might just be enough to knock us out as well. That might not be great. In comes a Fly here. Down goes a bit of our HP. I should say a bit more than a bit, right? That's like half our HP gone with just a resisted Fly. If a Brave Bird is thrown, which it is, that's just going to knock us out straight up. Oh, man. I was kind of hoping that a shield advantage Murkrow would win us the game, but even a, what is this, Morpeko is not going to be squishy enough for us to just win, I don't think. We do quite a bit of damage, but all they need is 2 Psychic Fangs, and I think they're at it right now. Now, if they do get knocked out by the next Peck, we should win this one, but I think they do barely survive, and they should get this next attack off. In comes that first Psychic Fangs. They will survive, and they get the second attack off here. I mean, I could have no-shielded that first one, but I don't think that really would have mattered either way. There's still a lot of fast attack pressure on that Moltres, as well as the Annihilape. This game is over. Down goes our Murkrow. Well played to our opponent. I almost could come back from that one, but Morpeko just a little bit too bad for us to see. GG to them. Next game is a Claydol on the lead. Once again, not the greatest lead here for our Poniard, but I think our Murkrow here in the backline should be able to put in some work on the Say Swap. We're going to go for a Drill Peck against the Poniard counter swap, and as we've seen here, if I end up landing this move, then potentially I can peck them all the way down. They do let that move go, which means I'm going to go for the shield on my Murkrow. I'm going to try to flip this if I can, get our Poniard away from that Claydol if possible, and get Sableye aligned into it. In comes our next attack here. I'm going to go for the Drill Peck once again at the last second. Our opponent might go for the shield. They might let it go. Really depends on how much they value switch advantage. They do shield this time, but I sneak a full Peck through. I think I can shield this and go for a full farm down against this Poniard. In comes the attack. Exorcer will be thrown once again into us. We peck them all the way down. We have quite a bit of energy. We do go down shields, which could be a little bit awkward depending on their backline, but I think going down shields is worthwhile, saying Murkrow will likely get them back. They actually bring in the Claydol once again here. Foul Play is going to do quite a bit of damage if our opponent lets it go, which I assume they will. They do no shield in the backline. It is a Galarian Rapidash, and this Pokemon down shields is going to be a very tricky Pokemon to deal with. I do have super effective Shadow Claw damage against them, but we know this Pokemon has access to some very hard-hitting moves. I'm going to chip them down as much as I can with our Sableye, but at this point, I think I'm in a range where a Mega Horn will KO us. I do have some HP remaining on our Poniard as well as some HP on our Murkrow, but I don't know if we have quite enough HP on Poniard to survive a Mega Horn here. I'm going to have to bring it in, though. I don't think I can bring in my Murkrow just yet. And there is still that Claydol in the backline, right? Claydol, if it comes in, could potentially Mud Slap us down, even if we do survive this attack. In comes the Mega Horn. We do survive. In comes Claydol. We swap instantly here. Do they Mud Slap us down? They just barely do not. We actually reach this Drill Peck, and I think by reaching this move, that clinches the game in our favor. This move will knock him out. We are going to get knocked out by one Fairy Wind, and we are so close to a move here on Poniard. All we need is that one Night Slash to knock him out. Honestly, even Fury Cutter damage could have done it, but I want to guarantee the win. Down goes this Rapidash, an extremely close endgame. Well played to our opponent, and we get the boost, I guess, just to waste all our luck there. I guess, good stuff. Next game here, a Claydol on the lead. Not great for my Steel type. This time, Say-swapping our Sableye, though, just to see what our opponent's going to do. And it looks like they're not that strong into us here. They're staying in. They're going for a lot of Mud Slap damage, but a Foul Play in the Shadow Claws doing a lot to them. We get a shield very early on. In comes a Rock Tomb against our Sableye, but I'm fine no-shielding this. It does not knock us out, and we've put in quite a bit of work against this Claydol. In comes a Mandibuzz here to respond to all of our energy, but that's fine at this point. I think a Dazzling Gleam is still going to do a lot more than most of my damage from my Poniard or my Murkrow could do, so I'm going to land this move, maybe even swap out if I can here. Switch Clock is coming back up. In comes our Poniard, and at this point, they have to throw a lot of resisted damage into us. In comes the attack here. What's it going to be? It's going to be a Dark Pulse, actually. I guess a little bit harder hitting than a move like Foul Play would have been, but I know at this point, Poniard is still able to build up a lot of energy. If that Claydol does come back in here, I want to have enough energy to go for Night Slashes against them, and if we see the third Pokemon, then at the very least, I can formulate a game plan from there. Unfortunately for us, it's not going to be that Claydol coming back in. It's actually their final Pokemon, and Annihilape in the back. But by seeing this Pokemon, I know that my Murkrow has quite a bit of play in this game. I go for 2 Night Slashes here, and while this won't knock him out, if they shield this, I'll have a lot of damage with my Murkrow in the back, and if they no-shield, I can just peck this down. So we'll see how our opponent's going to play this out. I know at this point, there's still a little bit of energy on that Mandibuzz, and there is a lot of HP on that Claydol. My Murkrow at this point has a lot of work to do. I go instantly for this Drill Peck, trying to get a shield down from them if I can, And I know at this point as well, my opponent might try to go for a catch at some point. If they do that, that could be kind of bad. I'm going to try to catch a move myself. I don't quite get it here. Maybe a bad play by me. Did I give them enough energy to get to another move? They might be a back-to-back right now. I'm not quite sure. But I think at this point, what I can do is I can go for a drill peck. Even if they do catch, which it looks like they do, they took so much damage in that lead matchup that if I go for the perfect undercharge here, then potentially I can still farm them down and come out of this matchup with another attack ready for that Mandibuzz. We get that full farm down, which is fantastic. We have another drill peck ready to go. And our opponent, top lefts, they realize that they can't win that game. GG to them. Another Annihilape, another bad lead to see here, swapping out into our Sableye, this time met by a Shadow Ice Fang Drapion. This is not ideal for a Sableye to see. I go for an foul play bait here against them. Let's see if we get his shield. Our opponent does shield that up, which is very nice to see. And by getting that shield, I think there is a chance maybe I survive a crunch, but really just having a shield advantage with our Shadow Murkrow is going to be what I'm playing into. We actually do end up surviving an Aqua Tail bait. Maybe a crunch would have knocked us out there. It would have been kind of close. In comes a Dazzling Gleam as well. This move is going to do quite a bit. It's actually going to draw their second shield, so now Ponder is going to come in here and try to do as much damage as possible. Our opponent might have lagged there for a second, but they end up throwing an attack into us. Might be an Aqua Tail, I would assume, at this point. Yeah, Aqua Tail does about half of our HP. I can build up a lot of energy on our Ponder here if I want to. And while I will shield this, and while this is maybe not the best shield, saying there is still that Annihilape in the backline, having a lot of energy on Ponyard is going to be a very good thing. Our opponent lets us get a full farm down. We have a lot of energy on Ponyard. I bring in Murkrow. Our opponent in the backline has a Metang, and this is a wrap, folks. At this point, Murkrow is such a huge core breaker for our opponent's team, especially up energy and up a shield. There's nothing this Metang can do. I do shield a Psyshock bait, but that doesn't really matter. All I need is a single foul play here and a single drill peck against that Annihilape, and we should have this game. Down goes Metang, down goes the Annihilape shortly after. Our opponent realizes that they cannot win that one. GG, well played. Next game, Ponyard in the mirror match once again. I guess a better lead than what we've been seeing here with the Fighters and the Mud Sappers. Our opponent is staying in themselves. I know that I want to get this Pokemon out of the way as quickly as I can. We go for a CMP this time on an X-Scissor. And I'm thinking at this point, I don't know exactly what the team is, but I have seen the team that I'm using quite a few times on the opponent's side. So if I can, I am going to swap into my Sableye here, try to get some use out of this Pokemon before they end up coming in with something in the back line. The only way Sableye has play in the mirror match is if I get a big energy lead. And it looks like our opponent is staying in. They're going for an X-Scissor against us, but that is so fine for us here because I can get a lot of energy. I can get a lot of damage as well against them if they end up coming in with their Sableye. They might not have a Murkrow, I guess, if they come in with their Sableye in the mirror match. I go for the Dazzling Gleam. We get nearly a knockout there. They do throw a move here against us to knock us out, but I think at this point, either I could shield and Shadow Claw down, or I could invest in my Murkrow. I will shield this, because I feel like at this point, if it is a Shadow Murkrow in the backline, I have to make sure that we have enough HP not to get just completely farmed down. What's in the back at this point? It is a fire, or a flying and dark type, that is, and it is the opposing Shadow Murkrow. Now, I'm not super proud about this win condition, but I think I see what I need to do. All I need to do is just tap my screen at this point, go for fast attack damage, and I should just win this game. They get to knock out my Murkrow here, but their Ponyard got a lot of Shadow Claw chip damage against them, and I still have quite a bit of HP on my own Ponyard here. I think I can Fury Cutter this down, and I think at this point, I win the fast move beatdown. Down goes the Murkrow, down goes the Ponyard. We're able to pick up the win against a mirror team. Love to see it. Next game, Ponyard up against another Ponyard. I guess this is like the most popular lead right now in the meta. It makes sense. This Pokemon's just insane right now. I think I liked how I played that last game out. I'm going to go for the X-Scissor here. Just in case it is a mirror match, I do want to swap into my Sableye at some point. If I do land this move especially, it's going to make it so it's a lot easier for Sableye to deal with it. They do end up no-shielding. I'm going to swap now instantly into our Sableye if I can. In comes the attack here. X-Scissor is going to land against us once again. In comes our Sableye. Our opponent is staying in, taking a lot of Shadow Claw damage. They throw a move against us, and well, a Night Slash will chip us down into the yellow, kind of close to the red. I know this energy should be at least somewhat threatening for our opponent. And yeah, I guess that's an understatement. They come in with a Claydol of all things. This Pokemon does not want to sponge any of this damage here. Down goes half their HP with one foul play. And not only that, I'm almost at my next one. I can reach it before they get to a move themselves. In comes our next foul play. Will our opponent want a shield, or are they just sacking their Claydol? They actually just completely let it go down. In the back line is a Shadow Sableye. And I know, once again, I think I see my win condition. It might just be to tap my phone screen. Don't even throw a charge attack here. What's the point when fast attack pressure is going to add up so much? It comes a foul play. It will draw our first shield. I know that it's always just going to throw foul play against us, but if I let that move go, it's a Shadow Murkrow into a Shadow Sableye. We basically still get one shot. In comes that next move here, but I think, once again, just commit to the fast move pressure here against them. Pecks are doing so much damage. They don't even get to another attack here. Down goes that Sableye. Ponyard's pretty low itself. They bring it in, but they don't even get to a move. We end up picking up the win just again with fast attack pressure. Not super proud of that, but I mean, sometimes recognizing the win condition is the way to go. Next game is a Shadow Claydol on the lead. Very cool Pokemon here. Honestly, that thing looks kind of scary with those red eyes. I'm going to go for the foul play to try to draw a shield here from our opponent if I can. Shadow Claw damage as well, chipping them down into a range where our Ponyard could deal with them if we need to. I'm kind of surprised they're still staying in here. Shadow Claw putting them well below half HP. They didn't even throw a Rock Tomb until the last second. I think I'm going to shield this just in case I need my Sableye for the backline. Overfarm as much energy as I can here. Foul Play coming through, trying its very best to get a knockout right before the next Rock Tomb will be reached. Comes the attack. Down goes the Claydol, and in the backline is going to be a Galarian Rapidash. This is a bit interesting. I don't know exactly what their final Pokemon's going to be. I don't want to give them a huge farm down, though, on this Pokemon, so I bring in my Murkrow here to try to peck them down, but it looks like they might get to 2 Body Slams against us before we're going to be able to get a full fast attack down. Body Slam is going to be reached. I'm going to go for the CMP at the last second just to try to get their final shield down here, but now I think I'm a little bit worried because there could be a Pokemon in the backline that is good against their Ponyard once again. If it's like an AVA team to Sableye with a, I don't know, like an Annihilape in the backline, that could be bad that we just sacked our Murkrow. They land that move. They get the Simul KO against us. In the backline is going to be that Annihilape here. I guess that's why they were so scared of my Sableye, but unfortunately for us, kind of misplayed that game. Well played to them. Next game, another Claydol on the lead. I don't know how to play this out other than just swapping into our Sableye here. It seems like it's working out to swap this Pokemon in as much as we can here. Foul Play going to be thrown. Our opponents must not have great answers to our safe swap of a Sableye. It's kind of weird to say. There's a lot of Pokemon in this meta that can resist Sableye's damage, at least the fast attack pressure, but it seems like not a lot of Pokemon are hard counters to it, so Sableye on the safe swap does put in quite a bit of work. In comes a Rock Tomb here. We do survive. Our opponent brings in a Poliwrath. Oh my goodness, that might not be great for us. I think a Dazzling Gleam at this point should be able to put them down into the red and maybe knock them out, maybe draw a shield. They do shield here, and I'm going to be completely honest, I think it's just going to be a double fighter team. I bet I just get completely farmed down here, which is not what I want to say, but I think that's going to happen. They're just triple countering our poor Ponyard at this point. If it is like an Annihilape in the backline, I think they have us here, because at this point, I'm not a bulky Pokemon. They're going for power-up punches. These counters are doing more than my Pecks are doing to them. A second pup is going to get shielded. Look at the fast attack pressure. We're down deep into the red. At this point, we're not at back-to-back moves. Yeah, oh my goodness. Our next matchup here, another Ponyard Mirror match. Who would have thought in the Willpower Cup seeing a Ponyard on the lead? That's crazy stuff. I guess I see why our opponent last game was triple countering this Pokemon, because it is absolutely everywhere. In comes an X-Scissor, our opponent lets it go, and because I've been playing this out, where I go for that X-Scissor immediately and swapping into Sableye, I feel like that is the play to go. I'm going to swap in once again to our Sableye, get a lot of Shadow Claw damage into them if they do stay in, and if they swap out, I guess I have energy for whatever they bring in here. It's going to be a Mandibuzz to counter swap into us, but the thing is, Mandy, down all of this energy, is not the most consistent answer here. Dazzling Gleam basically going to two-shot them if they let these moves go. Yeah, it looks like it will actually, just straight up. In comes an attack here. I can survive a Foul Play or an Aerial Ace. No reason to shield this, in my opinion. In comes a Foul Play. I no shield. I survive. In comes our Dazzling Gleam in just a second. I'm going to overfarm as much as I can here, just in case our opponent will shield, or rather no shield, so I can have energy against the backline. Gleam coming through. Will our opponent go for the shield? They actually do shield a Mandibuzz. I can barely reach a Foul Play here, which will do some nice chip damage, but our opponent will survive this pretty comfortably. In comes Foul Play. Our opponent does go for that no shield here. In comes our Shadow Murkrow, though, trying to get a massive energy lead against this Pokemon. I know there is energy on that Ponyard still, which is a little bit awkward. If they bring it in here, they might get a combo play and get our shield, but instead they bring in their final Pokemon. It's going to be their own Murkrow. It's going to be the team, actually, that I ran when I was using Shadow Murkrow the first time, which is a very strong team. Actually, I think I was running Claydol with that team, so it's a similar team, but not quite the same. Anyways, I'm going to have to shield this. I need to keep my Murkrow around. I need to knock out this Murkrow before they get any more fast attack pressure against us. There is still their Ponyard alive and with some energy, but I think our own Ponyard might still be able to close out this game. It's going to be close here, saying at this point they have a lot of energy, a little bit of HP on both these Pokemon. In comes the attack here. Night Sash likely will knock us out, but as long as they don't reach a second attack here, I should get a farm down. Our opponent is going to get farmed down, it looks like. In comes that Mandibuzz. I have to snipe him down before they reach another move. I go for the X-Scissor. This should knock him out, and I think that Ponyard is going to get farmed down as well. Down goes Mandy, down goes the Ponyard, and we do just barely pick up the win. GG to our opponent. Next game here, another Claydol on the lead, and I'm going to be honest, after seeing that Claydol double fighter team, I was kind of scarred of just swapping out. I'm going to stay in this time, try to get any sort of use out of our Ponyard that we can, because this is not the worst case scenario, right? I do a lot of damage to them. We actually get a shield here as well, which is pretty nice to see. Our backline being so good into Claydol means at this point they've shielded a Pokemon that's pretty useless later on this game. Not only that, but if Rock Tomb here does not knock us out, I can swap out, get an energy lead with our Sableye, and see what they want to do. In comes their Ponyard here as their counter swap into us, and while this Pokemon does technically wall a lot of our damage, I'm up a shield, I'm up energy. I think we have some play in this matchup. Night Sash will come through. It does put us down into the yellow. The Fury Cutters put us into the red. I go for a nasty Foul Play bait. Not even a guaranteed shield, right? They're already down one shield. Do they invest a second? They actually do, so a good bait by us there, but a bit risky. I'm going to now go for the shield on this Night Sash. Guarantee that I can land a Dazzling Gleam against them. Dazzling should put them down deep into the red, might knock them out, but it's a non-stab, non-shadow Dazzling Gleam. I don't think it quite gets the KO here. In comes the move, our opponent going to go for that no shield, And down goes the Pawniard to 2 more Shadow Claws. What is their final Pokemon going to be? It's a Morpeko. That's not great for us to see here. Our Murkrow in the backline is not going to be in a great spot. I one-turn lag as well. Haven't seen a one-turn lag in a long time, but that's not going to help our cause at all either. They're going to go for a move here. Is it in or a wheel? I shield a Psychic Fangs. Oh boy. Okay, well, I feel like at this point, this game is basically over. I might have a chance here. Especially, I was going to say if I make a catch, but they just threw another Psychic Fangs. I think I survived that, and now I think I see a way to at least give myself a little bit more of a chance. I'm going to swap to Pawniard, try to get any sort of Fury Cutter damage that I can. They catch a move actually on the Claydol. That's fine by me, though, because I'm going to be able to get enough energy on our Murkrow to potentially not only knock this Pokemon out, but then maybe I can go for a Drill Peck against that Morpeko, especially after landing the Fury Cutter damage. They might just be in range where I can knock him out with one Charge Attack. In comes our move here. We do survive the 2 Thunder Shocks. I think somehow we're going to overcome this backline. In comes the Drill Peck. Down goes the Morpeko. Insane stuff, Murkrow. Love to see it. GG to our opponent. Ending off the day here with a 4-1 set. Let's see where this puts us up to in the Go Battle League here. It's going to be 26-16, a new season high, using 3 of the squishiest Pokemon in this meta. But honestly, this team was a lot of fun to use. It's very flexible. Invest shield into Murkrow. Try to get shields down with Sableye and Pawniard as well. And if you can do that, this team is a lot of fun to use. All right, well, thank you so much for watching. Take care, and I'll see you in the next one.